Hey. Time for an out-of-this-world story from rSpace. Betrayal, surveillance, and a box of surprises. One man's live-streamed heartbreak. Today on rSpace, there are bad nights, and then there's this night. Let's jump into part 1. Explicit conversation on wife's phone. I wasn't snooping, it's just that I powered up an old phone, trying to remember whose it was. I opened Messenger, and there it was. Flirtatious messages. Plans to meet. I travel for work a few days each month. They use that time. I'm in Europe. No fault laws, but I still want to know everything. Someone in another sub suggested this for the confrontation. It's a way to get the grimy details, but I don't know what laws I might be breaking surveilling her beforehand. 20 years of marriage gone. At least we don't have kids. Though I'm gutted. Divorce is complicated and can take years where I live. It takes 5 years. I've ordered a voice-activated recorder to place in her car. I'll try to access her current phone to see text messages and maybe get a phone number. Solicitor appointment on Friday arranged. Edit for correction. It's 3 years to divorce here. Rules changed in 2019. You can't apply until 2 years of separation, and then the process takes time. Update 1. So much has happened this week. Where to start? I have his name, his real one. I found more messages in WhatsApp, where his real phone number and name is. It's a former colleague of mine who I haven't seen or heard from in at least 5 years, and who I barely had any interactions with when we were working for the same company. He lives nearby. I don't know how she even knows him. It's possible they met briefly at a company Christmas party, but my wife attended very few of them. I've gone through the messenger messages more thoroughly, too, to see what I can find out. It's the most difficult thing I've ever had to read in my life. It's like she's a totally different person with him. With me, she's always expected romance. No crude language. We make love. It's always supposed to be emotional, intimate. With him, it's the exact opposite. He talks to her in blatantly crass, degrading terms, and she loves it. They use language that she'd get upset with me for using. There's no real emotional attachment between them, but he clearly gets her motor running. It makes me sick. Yesterday, during work hours, I witnessed a live conversation on WhatsApp. He tried to do a video call with her during this, but I was able to red button the call each time he tried. The oldest messages are 3 years old, but they don't start with the introductions, so that wasn't the beginning of the relationship. I met with a solicitor. He has started the paperwork to initiate a separation agreement, advised me not to move any money around and to stay in the house and not move out for now. He said there are huge legal gray areas with my plans for hidden recording devices. For me, that only changes my plan to reveal any evidence to her. I think the whole infidelity baseball approach could still work without revealing the sources of information. I'll just show up with a journal listing the facts of everything I know. Still waiting for that voice-activated recorder to arrive. I've also ordered a camera that looks like a Bluetooth speaker. Post-edit. Sorry, I forgot to add a kind of important detail. When I knew the affair partner, he was married. I don't know if he still is. I'm leaning towards getting a PI for legal surveillance I can share with his wife. I talked to one during the week. It's not megabucks. Might be well worth it for my next trip, which is in less than 2 weeks' time. Let's get a thought from the community. You don't really need to establish fault in Ireland, no? The only reason to go this far is to get back at them or to control the narrative. Do you need to know everything? Ask your solicitor what you need to do and follow their instructions in the letter or you'll regret it. You need to move on with your life ASAP. Time is the most valuable asset in your life. All the rest is easily lost and easily regained. But lost time is always and forever lost. Don't forget that. Your main focus is your own happiness. Stay strong and the best of luck. Update 2. This seems to be moving at lightning speed. First, I want to thank the community for being so supportive in what has been a very difficult time. It's really helping to help me maintain clarity. So here's my progress since the last update. I have secured a PI who has already been able to confirm for me that the affair partner is still married to the same person. They also know his address. I knew he lived locally but didn't know exactly where exactly. I haven't asked them to provide it to me because I'd rather not know. That's just a recipe for doing something stupid in a moment of weakness. The PI will provide the evidence they gather to the affair partner's wife on my behalf. I don't have to be directly involved. I'm flying out Monday morning and returning Wednesday. The affair partner plans to meet my cheating wife at my house for various short visits that won't alert his wife. Like, he'll go out for a run so he can get away with being away for an hour or more while he's really visiting my wife. Various excuses like that. But he's also planning to stay overnight Tuesday. I don't know what excuse he has fed for his wife for that one. Maybe a fake business trip. Maybe he has a friend who covers for him. I don't know. The most important thing is the PI should be able to get some juicy evidence of him coming and going after telling his wife he'd be somewhere else. I have my voice-activated recorder, which I've put in our fireplace. We don't use the fireplace and she will never look there. I was originally thinking of the car, but it's picking up everything said in the sitting room with great clarity from the fireplace. It will also catch my conversations with her in that room. I also have a camera that looks like a Bluetooth speaker. It will be strategically placed in the bedroom. Not everything has gone to plan since my last update. I've been keeping her away from me by working constantly, but that only works for so long. We normally have an active sex life, usually at least 3 times a week. There's only so long I can use the excuse of work and stress to keep her away. She started crawling into bed with me in the middle of the night while I was sleeping in the spare bedroom and initiating. I had to reciprocate or she'd know there was something wrong. I felt bad about it, sending mixed signals, but then I just remembered what she's doing. It's probably going to happen again before my trip next week. I decided I'm not moving out. I have no family in Ireland, and there is nobody I could impose on. I will have to throw her out. One more thing. Over the weekend, I intercepted an incoming video call from the affair partner on WhatsApp using her old phone. So now I've seen his dick. It's really not that impressive. Let's get another thought from the community. Oh wow, OP, she is really putting you through the paces. Just like the champ you are, you're handling this like a boss. I am proud of you and how you're keeping your cool, thinking everything out with a clear mind and taking action. There's a lot some here could learn from you. You also admit your limitation. You knew to have the PI keep affair partner's address from you. Sorry you were not able to keep your wayward wife off of you. Too bad you didn't legitimately get the flu or something. I suppose taking one for the team was inevitable. I just hope you used a condom. Soon your nightmare will be over and you can move on with your life. Hopefully this time you will find someone whom you are enough for and loves you for who you are. Keep crushing it. It's always shocking to see a side of someone you never thought existed, especially after 20 years together. The way she's acted with this guy, using language she never allowed with you, sneaking him into your home, making excuses to see him, it's just downright cruel and disgusting. I think you're smart to have a PI handling things instead of putting yourself in a situation where emotions could get the better of you. Once everything is in place, you'll be able to make your move with no loose ends. Just don't let this consume you. I know you want all the details, but at a certain point, knowing everything won't change the fact that she betrayed you. Update 3. I spoke with my solicitor again today and now have a draft separation agreement outlining how we'll handle the split the finances, the house, etc. It's a voluntary contract not required for divorce, but it helps manage the process. It states she must move out within 14 days. I prefer sooner, but my solicitor advised being reasonable to ensure she signs. I'll stay in the house, continuing to pay the mortgage, and recoup additional contributions when it's sold. As I've mentioned previously, in Ireland, I can't file until we've been separated for 2 of the last 3 years. No dramatic serving of papers moment, just the option to serve her or send registered mail after 2 years. I mistakenly referred to this separation period as legal separation in some comments, but that's an entirely different process that doesn't end in divorce, I assume for religious reasons. Some asked if I could file elsewhere, like Australia. I assumed I had to file in Ireland, but that's not the case. If needed, I could move and file there, though I prefer staying in Ireland where I've built my life and career. If she refuses to sign or move out, I'll book the next flight to Australia, stay with family, secure a faster divorce, and leave her to handle the mortgage. A short notice flight will be costly, but I can justify using joint funds if she leaves me without housing, maybe even fly business class. Bottom line, she signs and moves out, or I move across the world and get divorced even faster. If she wants to drag things out, her best bet is to sign and go. As for the confrontation strategy, some of you have been pointing me to the no contact approach, basically to ghost her. I love it. It leaves the cheating spouse ruminating about what you know about them. It is a kind of psychological torture she imposes on herself, but that only works if you can just pack up and leave. I need her to leave and there has to be a confrontation for me to convince her to go. I also think no contact is a blunt instrument to achieve those ends. I don't have to reveal to her anything about what I am thinking or feeling. I intend to be a stone wall demanding information from her, but I don't have to provide anything in return. The infidelity baseball approach isn't a perfect match either. Much of the evidence I have is illegally obtained, so I can't share it with her. Nor do I want to. But I can still tell her when I know she is lying during the process. I just won't tell her how I know. I think that will still work. I'm not going to share the legally obtained evidence with her either, but it will go to the affair partner's wife. The PI will be watching the house when I'm gone. The affair partner is staying over Tuesday night, but I also want to catch him coming and going at other times so I can show his wife multiple instances of him being at my house after telling her he was somewhere else. Wednesday I have the day off and the wife won't be home during the day, so so I have time to get docs from the PI, review the audio, and pack her suitcase. My next update, unless something goes drastically wrong in the meantime, will be live posting events of the marital bedroom from my hotel room in England on Tuesday night. The confrontation will be Wednesday evening. What does the community have to say thus far? OP, you seem to have that crappy situation under control. Great, you intend to inform his wife. You could consider delaying the confrontation? If this sounds appealing, delay confronting her, but instead inform his wife. He will no doubt reach out to your wife in panic, blindsiding her with you knowing about their affair. No matter what you choose, be cautious. Accusations of domestic violence has been used by the cheater in cases like yours. Me, being a petty individual, would ensure her parents receive copies of the more interesting parts of their communication. Someone else chimes in, not exactly how I would handle it, but you seem to have thought this through with a level-headed approach without letting emotions get the best of you. It may be the best solution for your situation. I hope this all goes as you wish, and you get a quick resolution, and a much better future when all of this is behind you. I like that you're not giving her the satisfaction of knowing what you're thinking. Keeping things factual and not feeding into emotional manipulation is key. It forces her to question what you know without giving her the opportunity to twist things in her favor. Update 4. It's D-Day. It's D-Day. The affair partner is staying over tonight. I have a bedroom camera, a voice-activated recorder in the sitting room, and a PI watching the house. I'm in a UK hotel for work. My first trip since discovering the affair and my wife's first chance to meet the affair partner since then. Yesterday, the voice-activated recorder picked up our doorbell at 6:30 p.m., followed by my wife and a male voice. I couldn't make out much due to the TV, and they didn't enter the sitting room or bedroom. I suspect they were in the kitchen. Stayed for about 30 minutes before he left. My wife then spent the evening alone watching TV and went to bed at 11. This morning, she acted as usual before leaving for work. Now I wait. As tempting as it is, I won't drink. I need a clear head. This won't be pleasant, but I'm prepared. I had time to think, though sleep deprivation hasn't helped. Do I really want to see what I'm about to see? Many say no, but I believe facing the full extent of the betrayal will help with closure and prevent years of speculation and rumination. I believe people often take cheaters back because they don't grasp the full reality. It's easier to forgive the abstract concept of cheating than a series of concrete, repeated betrayal events. If my wife asks for forgiveness, I'll have a crystal clear picture of what she's asking me to forgive. It will appear in graphic detail in my mind. I'll also get insight into their dynamic, seeing firsthand how they interact. It won't be easy, but it's necessary. Tomorrow's confrontation will be a mix of ghosting and infidelity baseball. I can't vanish completely since I need her to be the one who leaves, but I'll remain emotionally detached, refusing to share my thoughts or feelings. I'm hoping that has the same effect. I'll interrogate her with a mix of known and unknown questions. Each confirmed lie is a strike. 3 strikes and I'm gone for good. Part of the reason for tonight is to gather more details, so I have more answers I can use to catch her out lying. If she refuses to leave or sign the separation agreement, I am prepared to leave the country for good. I'm ending this no matter what, but she doesn't know that. Tonight, I expect to learn if they're using protection. If she does things with him she has always denied me and much more, I can't even anticipate. Live updates. 6:05 p.m. She is home. The voice-activated recorder picked her up, arriving. The sound of the front door closing. 6:30 p.m. I haven't seen nor heard anything since she got home. It wouldn't be unusual for her not to be in the sitting room or bedroom at this time. She's probably in the kitchen. I have her old phone with me. I'll try connecting it to the hotel Wi-Fi and see if there are more messages since I last checked it on Sunday. 6:45 p.m. Yeah, there are messages. They're a bit hit and miss because I didn't get any of her regular text messages, only those sent through messaging apps like WhatsApp or Messenger. She's making him lasagna. In any case, she will be in the kitchen. He's running late and expects to be there for 7:30 p.m. 7:22 p.m. Our star has arrived. I hope he smiled for the camera. The PI will be parked somewhere with a view of the place. I'm looking forward to seeing the photos and video. 7:32 p.m. They're in the sitting room, eating by the sounds of the occasional clanking. TV is off. I can hear their conversation really clearly. Boring stuff so far, talking about their days at work and different people they work with. From here on, I'll only report anything interesting, but this is weird. It's like they're a married couple having boring everyday conversation. They haven't seen each other for a month, but it's so routine and regular, like they do this every night. 7:41 p.m. Just felt the first churn in my stomach. She just asked him about his kid, something about a problem he was having in school. He's in second class. That's a primary school grade here in Ireland. It means the child is between 7 and 9 years old, most likely turning 8 this year. Is she so concerned? Why is she wrecking this poor kid's family? There isn't the slightest sense of self-awareness here. I've given a lot of thought to the child involved in this and whether it would be best not to tell the wife. Some people would say it's not their place to get involved. The way I see it is what happens to the affair partner's family is his wife's business, and she only has the right to decide. It's not my place to withhold the info she needs to make a decision. 7:54 p.m. I just heard the curtains close. They make a distinctive noise while running along the metal rail. I wonder if being open helped the PI or if there's some rule against taking pictures through windows that would prevent them from taking the opportunity. We didn't discuss window snooping, but I suspect they're restricted to filming them while they're in a public setting and can't reasonably expect privacy. 7:58 p.m. TV is on in the sitting room, but a door opened and closed. 8 p.m. Bedroom action. Actually, it's just her. I guess he's the one watching TV. She has a towel, so I guess she's about to have a shower in the ensuite. Sorry folks, false alarm. I missed the whole I'm going for a shower conversation, so I guess I'm not picking up everything. She must have communicated it quietly. 8:24. Drying, straightening, brushing her hair. I just checked the audio again. TV sound went off at 8:14 p.m. He's talking on the phone to his wife while my wife is upstairs preparing to be defiled by him, telling her how much he loves her and he misses her and how he wishes he didn't have to travel. He ended it telling her he was stepping out for dinner and that he'd call her tomorrow. 8:35 p.m. Here comes the sexy lingerie. Stockings, lacy underwear, little black dress to go with it. I haven't seen that one before. It must be new. If I know my wife, she will make him shower too. 8:44 p.m. She left the bedroom, spent 45 minutes getting ready for him while he watched my TV and lied to his wife. 8:49 p.m. He's now in the shower. 8:55 p.m. My wife just pulled out the bottom drawer of a chest of drawers. I mean, she completely removed it and then pulled out a box that was hidden underneath. The box is on the bed now, but I can make out the contents. Yeah, you guessed right. It's full of personal pleasure items. She has effing toys hidden in the house for this jerk. We've never used them. She always told me she doesn't like toys. I'm going to call her. I want to see what lies she will spin talking to her husband while she is sitting next to a box full of sex toys on her bed with her lover in the shower. 9:02 p.m. Just got off the phone with her, lying through her effing teeth. Told me she was turning in early because she didn't sleep well last night because I wasn't there with her. Trying to deflect by making me feel bad for having to travel. Out of everything I've seen so far, that hit me the hardest. I'm not detecting the slightest bit of guilt or remorse from either of them. Expert liars. Between 9:04 p.m. and 9:21 p.m., they wasted no time getting intimate. It started with kissing by the bed, followed by them moving under the covers. She briefly interrupted to ask for help with a drawer, then laid out towels, likely to avoid cleanup. Things escalated quickly after that, with him getting increasingly physical, leading to a very direct request from her. It was difficult to listen to, but also eye-opening. 9:27 p.m. to 9:28 p.m. She said it was his turn, took off her dress, and grabbed something from the box, possibly lube. Then I realized the toys weren't for her. What happened next was beyond anything I expected. Right now I feel disgust, anger, and betrayal. She's willing to go to these lengths with him, and all I can think about is the practical side. Will she even clean that properly? Have I unknowingly slept in the aftermath of this? 9:35 p.m. Things escalated quickly. She told him to be rougher, and there was no sign of protection being used. That realization hit me hard. They repositioned, and let's just say he didn't hold back. When it was over, she casually brushed it off like it was nothing. He promised to make it up to her later. I had to step away for a moment to process it all. A few of my questions have been answered here. They risk my health by not using protection. They risk pregnancy. She's on the pill, but that's not 100% effective. They risk getting caught by leaving a box of evidence in the room. I'll know tomorrow if she cleans up afterwards. I'm thrown a bit by how routine it all is. I was expecting more affair-like behavior, like being genuinely excited to see each other after a month apart and not being able to keep their hands off of each other. In some ways, that might have softened the blow because I could attribute much of it to affair fog, the experience of being with someone different, the forbidden nature of the affair, and the risk of making it excitingly difficult to resist. But what I've witnessed was a routine, mundane relationship, like they were a married couple going through the daily motions. It's like she's living a double life with a second, albeit part-time, husband. I don't know if she's his only bit on the side. I could be infected with anything. It's so dang selfish and disrespectful. I'm devastated by what I just saw, but I'm glad I saw it. I'm going to harness this anger and pain and use it to create a nice stone wall for tomorrow's confrontation. Now I get to control the narrative. Okay, shutting down for the night. I have a big day ahead of me tomorrow. Post edit, March 6th, 2025. Some people are inquiring about my welfare. I just want to say that I'm okay. Yesterday was a long day, and now I'm back at work. I'll publish an update over the weekend. All right, let's get a couple community comments first. Make sure cameras are on during confrontation and be careful in case police are called for domestic violence. Also, ask the lawyer if legal to record in your house. Someone else chimes in, "Wow, OP, I admire your strength in all of this. Obviously, you have thought this through and seem prepared for every scenario. I hope you are prepared for what you're about to witness. I would imagine it would only harden your heart more towards her. Some have said once witnessing betrayal, they have this immediate disconnect from their wayward spouse. Like a switch has been flipped and all love for them is gone, and they just feel removed and indifferent. Good luck. Now I'm anxious waiting to hear." You're absolutely right. Seeing the full extent of the betrayal eliminates any room for doubt or second guessing. There's no what if, or maybe she just made a mistake. This is calculated, repeated, and devoid of remorse. I mean, they've been playing house inside your home. If she tries to manipulate, deflect, or turn this around on you, just remember she had a whole hidden drawer of secrets and not one of them was for you. Thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so don't miss out on our next video. Stay tuned for part 2.